Now, in our world today, there is the presence of Islamic extremists. In your opinion, should the Western world fear a kind of holy war from Islamic extremists?
Yes, they should, and I should too. I do too.
Yeah.
Because this is a very wrong understanding of Islamic teaching. Unfortunately, this is prevalent among many of the Muslims today, this whole idea, and without getting into a lot of technical discussion about which person has started this kind of philosophy within the body of Islam, it is definitely against true Islamic teaching. Islam is actually a religion of peace and brotherhood. So anytime Islam is being characterized by the actions of Muslims themselves as aggressive, then those people obviously are out of touch with the true spirit and the actual letter of Islam. So those people who characterize themselves as, I don't know that they characterize themselves, but we certainly do, as terrorists, those people who perpetrated the atrocities of 9/11, those people who strap bombs to themselves and blow themselves up and innocent people, these people are misguided. They do not have correct teaching of Islam. And yes, we know that they're serious. They came here to our country and perpetrated this tremendous atrocity and great mischief. And I don't think that they have given up the notion that they can be successful at doing this. So certainly we should be concerned about that. And of course, the real issue is how then do we address that from our perspective? And so that's quite another discussion.
Why is there so much confusion and misunderstanding about jihad?
There's so much background to these questions. They're very penetrating questions.
Yes.
And there's so much that the average person in the West does not understand. And it's hard for me to pick a point at which to begin to go forward.
Yes.
But let me suggest to you that everything evolves. Every religion has had its evolutionary process. Islam is doing that also, is evolving. Not in any sense of justification, but just to make the point clearer that I was just making. If we look at Christianity, if we go back some years in Christianity, we have the great Salem witch hunt. That was not Christianity at its finest, but it was indeed a Christian act. If we go back further, then you can see that my people, who are Africans, were enslaved and brought to this country and abused for hundreds of years as free labor and considered just to be animals, to be bought and sold. And this was done by good Christian peoples of America and good Christian peoples of Europe. So, each religion has this evolution, and Islam has this particular difficulty right now. I am concerned about it, absolutely. And I think that we should be mindful of the fact that hopefully we will get beyond this. Now, the true teachings of Islam have to be promulgated, and that's the real issue for us. You have Muslims who we call them mullahs, who are religious clerics, some of whom are not very well educated themselves, who have a stranglehold on Islam in many countries. Their motives are suspect in terms of their benefit from keeping the people ignorant and having them to do their bidding. Now, part of the problem certainly is that many Muslims feel that the West has been quite biased and unfair in how they relate to and treat Muslim countries, particularly as regards the juxtaposition with the Muslim countries and the state of Israel. And so they feel justified that they should do whatever they can to turn the tables. But this again is against Islam. The verse in the Quran comes to me that says, basically, what does it say? It says that we should not let the enmity of another people cause us to act otherwise than with justice. That Muslims should be always just, and that's near to righteousness. And so Muslims have to understand that whatever has been done by others that has been unfair to them, it does not mean that they then can exceed the limit and feel justified because they have been wronged. Only in the sense that their religion is attacked and they are not being permitted to worship as they want to worship. That's the only premise that the Quran gives Muslims for jihad in that sense.
Why are Islamic extremists successfully hijacking the Muslim faith in many parts of the Arab world?
The geopolitical climate, the history of the Islamic countries and how they have been either, colonized by Western powers, exploited by Western powers, and now that they have been freed from that colonization, they are exploited in a different way via petroleum resources. And they feel, of course, when it comes to how Islamic countries are treated and the state of Israel treated, why are the Palestinians being treated this way and the state of Israel is being treated completely differently? They feel an unevenness in terms of how Western powers perceive and respond to them. And so this has created a sense of anger among the people. And so this gives them, and then to add to that, to see what's happening in Iraq only adds fuel to the fire in terms of allowing these mullahs again to foment these, to take advantage of these kind of attitudes and to distort the youth's mind toward Western society. So we as Westerners need to be mindful of the policies that we have. I think our policies play a great role in exacerbating a bad situation. Certainly does not justify, as I was saying before, wrong behavior on the part of Muslims. Suicide is not permitted in Islam under any circumstances, but these people are saying, oh no, this is a wonderful thing to do, you'll get a great reward for this. So we have clerics teaching wrong ideas and concepts to the people. And so right now Islam is in a turmoil, and the battle is for the minds and hearts of the people, and that battle will only be won by teaching those people the correct understanding of the Islamic scripture, the Holy Quran.